Welcome to DAO Deep Dips, where we dip into the topic of decentralized autonomous organizations through talks, panels, and short interviews during the best DAO events around the world.
What's wrong in DAOs and incentives today? Anyone think that there's anything wrong today or that we could do better? So that's the definition of an incentive, right? And I think that's a good place to start. I think every community, if that's a DAO or not, it doesn't really matter, needs to have some sort of incentive structure to align its members to work towards a common goal, right? I mean, that's part of a DAO. What we have today, though, in many DAOs are bounties. Bounties are basically the micromanaging way of organizing people. That's a good place to start. It works for things like if you want to get into a DAO and you don't really know if there's a fit, go in there, snag a bounty, great. You get your feet wet, you work in that community, that's fantastic. But it's not scalable. So what is missing is the autonomous part in DAOs for the incentive structures and reward people for doing anything in that community. I think it needs to start with not micromanaging, not breaking tasks down to a minimum level, right? Sure, there is a task like retweet this, do that, write a post for that. Like that's where bounties are great, but maybe we can just define organizational objectives. So for a DAO, for a community, whatever it is, what are you trying to do? So I'm part of an investment-ish DAO. Our objective is to analyze deals. That will always stay the same. You always have to do at least 5 to 10 things for every single startup, and maybe it changes per startup a little bit, but you need to analyze the team, you need to analyze the financials, the opportunity. Those are always the same. So give your community members autonomy to do that. So how do you do that? It starts with reputation. There's a massive cold start problem, but let's assume we have reputation in our organizations, right? However, we prove that or trustlessly establish that you are good at something. Now you have reputation, for example, in financial analysis, and you can stake that through what I call a proof of contribution mechanism against any contribution in your organization to establish, to qualify that contribution. It's basically a modified proof of stake where all of your members are the validators. We do need that reputation part because otherwise it won't work. So because you use reputation and not a token, the combined reputation of your members who are staking against a contribution are validating it and therefore qualifying it. And that's basically it. If incentive models and reputation models are interesting to you, please come find me later. I'll buy you a beer because I would like to hear smarter people than myself discuss this at depth, because I think that's what's holding us up with DAOs to go to the next level.